Alright, welcome back to The Rising of the Shield Hero Anime Review, episode number 27. We are here reviewing the the 47th episode of the series, Emperor Dragon. From what I can tell, reading from the book, it finishes up chapter 9 and goes through pretty much the entirety of chapter 10, with the exception of the last little bit of the chapter. Yeah, and this is what they adapted for the episode. It's like this episode was just basically adding a lot to something, basically adapting for what was essentially put as a chapter and a half for this episode. So, we started out basically the last time where we're in that cave, and Fumi is faced up against the dragon. Everybody's standing up now. Despite the fact last episode they all collapsed thanks to the dragon's power. And then we have it where, get this, so they try to take it on, and of course, Battle Unleashed the power, all of a sudden we have Alta just come out of nowhere and press basically her power onto the dragon. That is from the book. That's from like about quarter of the way toward the end of the book. The chapter. And then, of course, the cave starts flooding. They get outside and they're all dry. Did I miss something? Apparently, like, they're making campfire, making plans. There is a flashback to Wathia's backstory a little bit, where apparently, because she was a baby, because she's apparently a demi-human. Excuse me. I think this was her biological father. They didn't confirm it. It's just some guy with black hair who's running from something, not really clear here, and he gives it to the dragon, who ended up being basically her adopted father. And he pretty much raised her, like, trying to give her fish, which she had been eating anyways. And when she was a baby, and then of course you see her crawling, probably basically copying basically him, and eventually start talking, and then afterwards see her praying at a grave, and not much else. It's all this flashback is like a few minutes. Okay. And then of course she remembers something from her flashback where that there's a scale that is upside down. Apparently that's the weakness. And she revealed this the Shield Hero. And they all break into teams. Wathia and Alta's brother, along with Sheila, from one team, and of course everybody else from several teams, and of course they surround the dragon in water when he shows up. When first we actually have, get this, we have Nafumi using his dragon, his Wraith shield. Yes, which is the first time he's used this damn thing since like season 1 of the show. Now, yes, he did use it in the book, so there's that. He used it just to get dragon attention. And then, of course, they battled for quite a while. And then they eventually, thanks to Alta's power, which they finally got a chance to use second time in the episode, they kind of hit the spot, and then the chest opens up again, seeing Philo and the dragon, the small dragon. Which I thought this was weird because last episode, the dragon wasn't there. It was implied this dragon was that small dragon. But I guess they changed their mind, and the dragon's there. Then they retrieve both of them. I think it's Reen basically. He basically goes to retrieve Philo and the dragon, and then eventually the dragon is destroyed. And well, then it kind of laid to rest. Reen basically has a little prayer with him, and then of course they go back to the village. And of course they thank him for saving them from the dragon. Then, basically, Fumi reveals them, you manipulated Rin, goodbye, don't want to talk to you, and Willa basically knows about the fact Rin killed her adopted father, but she hasn't forgiven him yet, but basically she's going to get along with him perfectly fine. And then it's also revealed that her father is kind of alive, but in the body of the baby dragon. Yes, basically use baby dragon as a host, and apparently he's allowed to go to change shape, which I thought that was interesting. Oh yeah, by the way, Sheila removed the Dragon Core prior to the destruction of the dragon. Yep. Well, apparently it's not a jewel anymore. It's basically a ball like this. I'm like, that was really weird. Yeah, I'll get to more of that in a minute. So then, of course, we have Nafumi riding on the dragon with, of course, Wheela. Philo is jealous because not riding on her. Excuse me, go into the next episode. It's interesting what this one is, but I felt as this one is like, what? I mean, the director of the series, who's been, by the way, the series has been good. Up until this very episode, it's been good. Really good. This episode felt very confusing at best. It felt as though basically they just changed stuff for no reason. They added stuff. Like, I would say in terms of not the story per se, it was more a bit of continuity when it comes to the episode and the fact that stuff was changed from the previous episode for no reason. And it's not the adaptation this time that's a problem. It's basically the animation. Where it's like, did the animators goof here? Or did they forget the dragon wasn't... It was very confusing, this episode. I mean, aside from the animation, it looked fine. It just, the problem is basically, it just was very confusing. I'm like, what? Yeah, seriously. What? That's what I was saying in my head the whole time. Like, what? Why is this different than last episode? Like, what? It just, yeah, just so confusing. I mean, was Anthony out of order here? Not really. It's mostly just adapting a chapter and a half for, like I mentioned, one episode, and then a lot of anime original content here, and I do mean a lot. Like, it seems like most of the fight with this dragon was simply anime original. I think most of it was still taken off screen. Yeah, I thought this was kind of weird. But the only reason I kind of guessed it was chapter and a half because thanks to the title of the next episode, which is called Perfect Hidden Justice. Excuse me. Which that's from chapter 11 of the series. Of this book. Yes, chapter 11. So, that's what I kind of figured though, the fact that it probably did do that. Presumably yes, but we'll find out more next week. So, how far do I think we'll go with next week? Do I think they'll do that 5 chapters? I highly doubt it. Oh, how many more episodes left to go for the season? Honestly, not much left. There is a grand total of 3 more to go. Excuse me. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. 3 more to go. And that's it. So, yeah, 3 more episodes. Which it looks like for this season, we're going to get this interview series up to 30. Yeah, 30. Well, that's going to be something to say at least. Yep. In the case, the other ones, a lot of them got 6 left per se. Like, pretty much everything else has got 6 left. Out of all the other anime I'm watching right now, everything else has got 6 left. With the exception of Case Goes and One Piece because the season not anytime soon. But everything else is seasonal. It's got like 6. Everything except this one has got 6 more to go. It's got 6 left. Yeah, because everything at this point is already half of this season. So it looks like a lot of it's going to be wrapping up either by the end of this month or presumably the start of very next month. But in the case of this one, because the fact this aired on this was released November 1st, so my guess is the final episode of the season will be released December 22nd. Basically, that will be the second to last week of the year. So at least this won't be finished with the year is over with. Yep. But yeah, that's pretty much a particular view, and that sadly is all I can do tonight because of time, because I have to get up early to work for work tomorrow. And I'm driving to work tomorrow. Yep. So, Tuesday tomorrow for our review for Kakuranger. Those of you curious though, where's the Common Corner keep saying was going to do? Due to lack of time. That's mainly the reason. I may have time tomorrow, maybe. But I'm planning tomorrow to go see Godzilla -1, which I've heard is really good. I'm going to go see it because I love Godzilla. Yep. See you next video. Bye.